will now introduce our student speaker.
We have a lot of great traditions at QVCC, and one of them is the student speaker. Beginning in 2000, initiated by college faculty and staff, the college has chosen a graduating student as commencement speaker. This year, the committee has selected Brian Poulin as today's speaker. Brian is from Brooklyn, Connecticut, and started at Quinebaug in fall 2010, testing the waters by taking a few night courses while contemplating a midlife career change. He graduates today summa cum laude with an associate in science, an associate in computer networking, and certificates in associate network specialist and senior network specialist. He is a member of Epsilon Pi Tau and will be attending Johnson & Wales in the fall to continue with his bachelor's degree. Please join me in welcoming Brian.
Hello to all. I'm thankful to be able to speak at tonight's graduation. I do have to tell you I was a little excited about this. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so if I make a few flubs, please excuse me. I would like to acknowledge those who are present, both mind and spirit. The Board of Regents, the Qvcc Foundation, President Drummer, esteemed faculty, staff, and alumni, my fellow classmates, Senator Blumenthal, and especially to members of our Northeastern Connecticut community. I'd like to start with a quote that is appropriate to what I wanted to speak about. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. Albert Einstein. I repeat these words as I believe they're relevant to what we all go through in choosing a goal to follow. I'll tell you honestly, when I decided to go back to school after a 38-year break, I thought it would be a little hard, but I thought I could manage. You can probably tell by my words, this was not exactly what happened. Besides the normal anxiety we all go through of balancing jobs with a full-time education, with a blizzard or two and a hurricane thrown in for good measure, I had a few extra setbacks. I developed a medical condition that hampered my ability to stay active. I watched my father succumb to dementia until his burden was eased and he passed away, something that's not easy for any of us. And though I'm a man who tries to keep a smile on his face, there were times I could not hold back the tears of frustration, regret, and loss. There were times like these I wanted to give up, take time off. And that's when things started to change. Because there's people here at Qvcc that would not let me give up, that were determined to push me up the ladder toward a better tomorrow. Thank you. In fact, and please excuse their embarrassment here, I have a brief story. Right at the time I thought things couldn't get any worse, I think you all know what I'm talking about, when all you can think of is, what am I going to do now? For good or bad, I went to talk to Jan Hall about this. The next thing I know, I'm being marched down to have a talk with Jan, Kim Rich, and Donnell Beck. And if you think you're having problems, I'll tell you right now, they become way smaller when you have 3 strong women surrounding you with the determination you're going to complete your schooling. Having no choice, I decided to fight back against the adversities. And as I did, something amazing happened. On the horizon, something appeared I hadn't even realized was gone. Hope. I started to believe I could overcome things if I stuck with it and kept going. I admit it was hard, but I am standing here today. There's something else I realized. It takes a community to accomplish this, and I was becoming part of that community. I made hundreds of friends. I learned to help others out along the way, both in and out of the classroom and in our community. I now have a great job in the field of information technology, and now that I've completed my training here at Qvcc, I have moved on to further education and will receive my bachelor's degree next year. If you walk away from this ceremony with anything, let it be hope. Hope for you, your friends and family, and for our community. And I also ask that if you ever once asked yourself the question, should I go back to school, that you do. The final thing I have to say is this. And you know, it's funny, I had a lot of suggestions about what to do or say in this speech. I thought about this and I realized, yes, I could tell a touching story or two, but that's not really me. Because I realize that all of us here have our own stories. Heck, most of us are just trying to get by. But think of this for a moment, and I'm serious, really try to imagine this. What if we lived in a community where we all worked together? Where you woke up in the morning and you had hope for your day and a dream in your life. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that I'm taking a stand, that I'm taking a step forward toward hope. And I wish that all of you would take a step forward toward making your dreams a reality. Thank you.